There's something about this place. It reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember?
I tried playing Kingdom Hearts before, long ago, and I just couldn't get into it. It's been too long since for me to remember all the reasons why exactly, but the main thing that stuck with me is I couldn't wrap my head around the combat system. I made it a couple of hours in and stopped. Years later, I tried again with Kingdom Hearts 3 and the same thing happened. The characters and the worlds the game draws inspiration from, both with Final Fantasy and with Disney, are characters most of us have loved at some point. The game has always been beautiful, both with its visuals and its incredible music, from the very first entry into the series in 2002. I figured this series just wasn't for me, and I accepted that maybe my role would be just to admire it from afar. Except all of my friends whose opinions I value greatly love it, and are constantly asking me to give it another shot.
Hey Shiny, so the reason why I recommend the whole Kingdom Hearts saga to you is because it's a game series that is filled with wonder, and it tells really nice stories that can really resonate with you no matter the age. When I played it for the first time, I was a teenager, and it resonated with me on a level that was very different from the way it affected me when I played it again 15 years later. And I think you'll really enjoy it. Even if it's, it doesn't hit you with the nostalgia kicks like it does for most of the fans, I think you'll really like the games. I know that the gameplay it's probably not what you're used to. Sometimes in the first games, the gameplay, it might feel a little bit clunky, but I think you'll grow into liking it, and you'll get to have a lot of fun. And the stories and the humor in the game can make you, they can get a few really nice laughs out of you. So yeah, that is why I think that you should play the whole Kingdom Hearts saga. So have fun.
Up until recently, I've run a gaming clan that has been a community for thousands of gamers over the last decade. Among many other things, one of the biggest opportunities that having a large gaming community like this affords is the ability to observe how gamers of all different types interact. One common thing is that a lot of these gamers are socially reserved in the beginning, keeping cards close to the chest just in case these new people that they just met wind up being crazy and they have to make a break for it. But as time goes on and people begin to open up, one of the things they like to do is share the games that they like with the group as a whole. I love this game, they'll say, and you should play it. Everyone will love it, I guarantee it. After all, they love it. Maybe the internet as a whole agrees, and there is no way someone could take that recommendation and not have a good time. But what often ends up happening is that the recommendations just don't land. Remember, this is a large community of gamers from every walk of life, from nations all over the world. They may have all come to the community for the love of a single game, Destiny, but they are infinitely diverse with tastes that run the gamut from the biggest AAA title to the smallest one-person indie. Many times I've watched the recommendations fail to land, and the person that tried to share it slowly retreat back into their shell because the person that tried the game didn't value the experience the same way. The game's story beats and gameplay ideas didn't hit the same with the new player as it did with the person that recommended it, and the question of why always stuck with me. In the 2 decades since Kingdom Hearts was released, one thing that has definitely improved is gaming's big focus on starting out strong. Developers know that in this world of major game saturation, of a big new release coming out nearly every week, that they don't have an unlimited amount of time to grab a player's attention. This first Kingdom Hearts game starts off very slow, with you first meeting Sora, the main character, and his friends on a picturesque island, and you spend a little time getting to know them and learning some beginner game mechanics. I distinctly remember this introductory level being one of the things that turned me off about the game when I first played it. Perhaps I wasn't a patient enough person yet. Antagonists are introduced here as the Heartless, but no context or details are given. The combat starts off very rudimentary, simple, and seems to lack any depth at all. Swing your keyblade around wildly and try your best to wrangle the very zoomed in and clunky camera to try and avoid taking too many hits. Soon you get your first ability, the Stun Impact, which gives Sora's keyblade strikes a chance to stun all the enemies around you when you are attacking. When this ability first fires off in combat, it changed everything for me. I immediately could see why the beginning was so slow and eased you into the combat system so carefully. The possibilities here could be great, and starting you off too complex wouldn't be good. It's important to remember this game was released when 3D action in gaming was still in its infancy. These concepts were as new to the developers as they were to the gamers at the time. And now, 20 years on, when recommending this game to others, consider if the person you are recommending the game to has the capacity to look beyond modern convenience in game design in order to be able to appreciate reaching so far back in time to try and enjoy a game released so long ago. As an aside, you really feel the lack of modern guidance, or as some would say, hand-holding in this game. Combined with a very stiff camera and missing subtle features that can give hints to guide the player, like environmental lighting, it can definitely be a little difficult to tell where the game wants you to go. Whether this will please or frustrate you will vary depending on the type of player you are. In particular, the Tarzan jungle is an insane labyrinth of backtracking with no indication of where you should be going. Luckily, there are plenty of guides now, but I can only imagine what it was like to just run from one end of the jungle to the other in hopes of stumbling upon the next area you need to be in to advance the story. So far so good. At this point, I'm well past the furthest I'd ever previously been playing a Kingdom Hearts game. Maybe mellowing out as an adult has taught me more patience than I had as a youth. Or maybe having more knowledge and experience allows me the perspective to be able to appreciate the game that my friends all love and who really want to share that love with me. You're never going to get a recommendation better than one from a person whose opinion you trust. Gaming magazines and websites try, but their situations and realities of running a business get in the way of providing you the info that you need. They've long since lost what it means to be in you and your friends' shoes when they have had to power through every game that comes out so that they can get a review out on time. I know some gamers that do consume games that way, but if you don't, and you are open to trying these new experiences, a recommendation from someone who really knows you and the things you like and appreciate may be just what you need. For some of us, this will come in the forms of friends and family, but for others, maybe just a friendly face and a warm smile from someone with similar interests will do.
In today's video, I will be recommending a game that just released that I'm sure you've all heard of called Chia.
Today I want to share with you 4 popular cozy games that you probably didn't know were actually led by women.
We have a mixture of big titles and indie gems here to discover today, so I hope you like my selection and let's just jump straight in.
But how do you recommend something you love to someone who you maybe don't know the taste of super well, or who doesn't seem ready to receive what you're trying to share? Chia was one of the best games I've played in ages, with a fantastic story and an incredible open world with gameplay I would recommend to any gamer out there. But when one of my friends saw us playing it and looked at the trailer, they immediately dismissed the game as not for them just because it was bright and colorful. Come on, man. I suppose over the years, As my friends have asked me over and over to give Sora's story another try, I was being dismissive in the same way. If you're not careful, you can fall into this rut where you only take the familiar experiences because they are easier, and because somebody won't see you and ask you why you are doing something so different. Think of all the people you know that play Call of Duty year after year after year, or maybe only shooters like Fortnite or GTA. We all probably know someone like this. I know I definitely do. But in staying so familiar and only engaging with those experiences that are like the ones you already know that you like, you may also lose the love that you found for gaming in the first place. That love was shaped for most gamers over trying and being captivated by many different gaming experiences over the years, and it takes trying new experiences to keep that fire burning. I've seen many people think that they have outgrown their love for the art form of gaming, and usually it's for this reason. But they didn't really outgrow it. They fell out of love because they didn't grow. They didn't try anything new. I'm getting deeper and deeper into this Kingdom Hearts game. I still don't know what's going on, but I figure that explanation is coming. I unlock more abilities for myself and my party, and I help Hercules and Cloud clear out the Colosseum from Hades' minions. When you're playing games like this on someone's recommendation, you have to remember to take your time. Give the game room to grow on you naturally the way it did on the person who advised you to try it. Be careful not to play it waiting on something to happen, waiting for it to get good. It can't be rushed. That moment of revelation where the game fully gets its hooks into you is partially the game's doing, but it also partially has to come from you being willing to accept the game as it is. The moment has to arrive naturally, and how long that takes is different for every person. You have to be open to receiving what the game is trying to give. Now, I know it sounds like I'm describing converting to a new spirituality or something, but this is the truth. If you already know that you don't have the patience for a slow burn, don't try to force it. Come back to the game when you're ready. As I'm beginning to cruise along with Sora, Goofy, and Donald on their quest to find King Mickey and Sora's missing friends, I'm surprised by just how much time I've spent in this world already. I began to get lost taking my time to explore these Disney worlds and discovering tucked away secrets. And I'm willing to bet that none of the games that you hold closest to your heart, your all-time greats, were ones that you rushed through. You have to be willing to give the stories the time they need to grab you. When we were young, this was easier, sure. And as we get older and our responsibilities start taking more and more of our time, something has to give. For me, this means that I won't be able to play as many different titles, but I will try to give each one of the ones I do play the same amount of my time as I would have as a kid on a summer vacation. If not for friends, loved ones, and of course content creators sharing what they love about games with others, maybe we all become a bit more trapped in the familiar until the familiar becomes the uninteresting, and the uninteresting becomes the mundane. In order for us all to expand what experiences we know about and those we hope to know in the future, we all need help from others to find those new experiences. If the people we recommend our favorite games to can't see the value in why they should engage with that new game, and we really know that person and their tastes, and we are sure they would love it if they just gave it a chance, we owe it to them to explain it in a way that they can understand. Maybe one day long ago, maybe you found a game that changed you. Maybe you're looking for an experience like that again. And maybe, just maybe, a friend's recommendation can help you with that. Special thanks goes out to Fox and Isaiah for recommending Kingdom Hearts. After so many tries, this time, I'm loving my time with it. Till next time.